John Wick 2 is John Wick 1. Okay, so upon watching John Wick 2, the first thing I noticed was the colours. Mostly because it's often surprising to see a movie that has a nice use of colour and a well-defined palette. This is one of the reasons why I love Mad Lad's Nando Road so much, because of the oranges and the blues and the overall sense of visual consistency. Now, I'm not saying John Wick 2 is a masterpiece of cinema, but I will say that the fight choreography and the visual direction is significantly more enjoyable than the usual cancer that covers Kevin Feige's prostate. So in the first movie, someone stole John Wick's dog and John Wick decides to murder them all. And the second movie is pretty similar. Someone burns down his house and Theresa May refuses to visit him because of the security risk. And then he decides to murder the people who burned down his house, which I've got to say is a little disappointing. I would have wanted a slightly different story, but at least it was done in this movie, where the people involved had a goal and they achieve everything they set out to achieve, so a simplified story is less of a concern. I still would have preferred a different take this time around, but the third movie is looking to be that way, with the black guy showing up at the end and making an offer about the Avengers Initiative. The casting on the bad guy was okay, even if it may have suffered from European bad guy syndrome, but now, I ain't no lesbian phobe and I have a whole hard drive to prove it, but I just cannot for the life of me understand why people cast Ruby Rose and stuff. Surely if you wanted a badass female bodyguard character, you'd hire someone who can actually deliver a performance, like Brie Larson or Stoya. And no offense to Ruby Rose, I'm sure she's a great model, but she just comes across as a little kid playing dress up in this movie. Now, even if you have an intentionally monotone protagonist and less enjoyable villains, you can always redeem your movie with the inclusion of Ian McShane, who can basically save any movie. Apart from Pirates of the Caribbean 4, not even Peace in the Middle East could save that movie. And really, this movie has a feeling that the writer read a few comments online about what people wanted to see from a sequel, and wrote them. We got more of a look into this strange underground assassin after-school club that he's part of. We got more headshots, John Wick pins a guy down with a shotgun and then loads a shell to shoot him with, his dog didn't die, and as far as I'm concerned, John Wick 2 is a better investment of your time than, say, insert superhero movie. Because even if I do enjoy a few of those movies, John Wick has a lot more technical stuff for you to enjoy, and also, even for such a simplistic script, a sense of tension and conceivable risk. And isn't it just a little bit more satisfying to see someone get their kneecaps blasted off rather than being punched into completely bloodless PG-13 unconsciousness? Hey, if you like John Wick 1, then you'll like this, and if you didn't, then you'll fucking loathe this. 7 out of 10 dead naked middle-aged Italian women. Oh my God, all the other kids with the bump.